Just outside of DeKalb, rising above a sea of rich prairie, lies the village of Kings. Life here seems to move at a slower pace, and that's all right with folk musician Jim Kanas and his family, who call Kings their home.
I think it's a familiar comfort zone that your instincts tell you are important to hold on to for mental and physical health, well-being. I grew up in what I would describe as a semi-rural area of Hinsdale. I wasn't raised on a farm or anything like that, but we lived in an area that had farms all around us. Of course, it's all built up now. I've spent most of my adult life trying to hang on to that by moving further and further west away from that area, which is what I would describe as suburban now. I went to Boston in 1976 to go to Boston University, and it was a great experience. I had a great fortune to pal around with people like Pat Metheny and George Benson, and I came back. I felt like Illinois was a better place for me to really develop my voice as a musician and an artist. I would have to say that my music is American music. Folk music was always a hobby. I studied jazz and classical music as a student and played bluegrass for fun. And it wasn't until I got into college that my dad and the chairman of the music department at NIU said, "Jim, you're a folk musician. You don't want to be a fool. You want to be able to provide for your family and make sure that your bases are covered and you're doing what makes sense, from either a business point of view or a marketing point of view or whatever, and try and be true to your art form too." And that's a huge challenge right there. But the main thing is making the music and making it really good and having people acknowledge that.
Kanas has created a unique niche for himself, bringing his interest in American music and passion for entertaining to children as an artist in residence at schools throughout Illinois.
It wasn't intentional. It sort of crept up on me that I had these skills and I was able to do all these instruments, and then I found myself following more of my personal goals where I lived, knowing it probably wasn't a wise career choice to live out in the country. It would seem like it would be instant death for a person who's interested in music as a career, to live in a rural area. But there was an opportunity there that I saw afterwards, which was to take these instruments and put an American music program together. So that is a big part of who I am and what I do as a musician is working in the schools. It's an American music program. It's about American music, but it's about the influences on American music that make it what it is. African, European, Hispanic, that really gave us country and bluegrass and blues and jazz. The kids love the music. It's just really fun.
We ended our visit at The House, a popular cafe and performance spot in DeKalb where Kanas plays regularly.
I still consider DeKalb my home, even though we live in Kings, which is about 25 miles from DeKalb. It's a natural place for me to play and feel at home playing at. The inspiration for my music would have to be to capture an essence, a oneness, a sort of feeling of that everything is just right and everything is perfect. That's what it's about. It's about capturing that, because if you don't capture that, what's the point? And I can achieve that at my own terms.